Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you again from North Carolina. Well, it's been a pretty stormy week here. The creeks rise, we've had toad drowners, trash moving, flooding here, and the woods have all started to get bare. As you can see, everything's starting to pretty much drop and all the colors out, but it is still gorgeous just to be outside and the blue sky and the sunshine and just being in the woods. So I'm glad to be with you here now. And if you haven't had a chance to get out on the trails or get out in the woods, get out there if you can at all possible. But let's go ahead and talk about the thru hikers and who's out there left on the trail, what's going on with folks out there on the trail, because that's what you came here to hear about, not about me. So what's going on out there? Well, we are getting less and less thru hikers. Most people are completed their hike by now. We still got quite a few subos out there, although not all those have been reporting to me, and certainly not all those are even on social media. So there's very few of them left that I have been able to find on social media or that are reporting back to me. So it's getting harder and harder to get those updates. But who we got out there? Well, Hopper, he is somewhere around Hot Springs, and he is heading south. He's got around 300 miles to finish. Rock Flipper, he is north of the Shanties, and he's going to be finishing up there at Harper's Ferry. Braids, her last known was somewhere north of the Shanties, and she is on her sobo portion of her flip-flop, and she is getting real close to being done there. Daisy, she's somewhere around the Delville, Virginia area. Crash, right now he is chilling out at Stanimals, and he's chilling out with Whole Foods, Bash, Turtle, Upstream, and Pound. So they're going to be continuing their sobo trip any day now. Hickory's videos, he is usually about a week, maybe 2 weeks behind his last video drop, showing that he was 3 days out. So looking forward to seeing his completion video any day now. Redbeard, he is south of the Priest. He has less than 800 miles to go, and he is heading sobo, and he says the trail has been fairly empty except for just a few day hikers out there. So he is not a lot of companionship out there right now for him. So we don't have anybody to announce this week that's completed. If you have completed and you're watching this, let me know. Send me your final picture of your wherever you completed, be it at Springer or somewhere else on the trail, Harper's Ferry. We want to feature you and honor you and put you on our thumbnail there, just to honor that momentous occasion for you. If you're still out there on the trail, I didn't mention you, please, by all means, get in touch with me. It's not too late to include you in stuff and for people to follow you and give you the final attaboys or attagirls that you need to get you through the last little bit of the trail out there. If you've gotten off the trail, let me know. If you're going to get back on in 21, I'd like to know that as well. So we do know some folks that have gotten off. Snapshot, after 1,243 miles, she finished her hike there at the Jersey-Pennsylvania state line, and she will not be returning. So that was good enough for her, and we congratulate her on that, on over 1,200 miles that she hiked. Fixin' and Silky, they got married. Congratulations once again to them, but they did have to get off the trail to get married, and so they will not be getting back on the trail this year, but they hope to get back on and finish in February. $2 Steak, he got off at the Massachusetts-Vermont border. He's got about 580 miles left to get back to Harper's Ferry, which is where he'll be finishing, and he plans to get back on the trail April 1st. So he's going to let it warm up just a little bit up north there before he gets back on. And that's still going to give him time to complete his hike in the 12 months, so it will be a through hike. So moving forward, the channel is going to be transitioning. We're going to keep updating you on the 2020 folks as we get information on them. However, we're going to be transitioning over to featuring the 2021 folks. So they're already dropping a lot of gear reviews and a lot of things about what they're doing, about getting ready, prep and everything. So it's pretty neat to watch them. If you're a 2021 hiker, I hope you'll want to be a part of our hiker list and allow people to go to your social media account and check you out and follow you and cheer you on, and who knows, they may show up and give you a little bit of trail magic. But best way to do that is be a part of our hiker list. If you'll go down the description section, you'll find you'll find a link to the form that you fill out, and that will automatically put you on the list. And right now we've got about 42, 43 people that are on that list that have filled it out. Once you fill out the list, if you don't put all your information in, that's fine. It is not, you cannot go back and edit it later. I had to lock it out so that somebody wouldn't go in there and just destroy everything, as some ne'er-do-well would do. So, but if you make a mistake, or if you want to add something to it later on, or change a date or direction, or add your social media account, let me know. I'll be sure and update that for you. And if you're not comfortable putting your name and stuff on there through that form, then just send that information to me. I'll be glad to do it for you. So some cool things going on the trail for 2021 is we've got a couple new hostels opening up. And there's probably more than this that I'm aware of, but Top of Georgia will be back, and it's going to be renamed as Around the Bend. So if you'll remember there, Top of Georgia was right at Dix Creek Gap, and there is a bend in the road right there, and it's like, I believe, a quarter to half a mile off the road, well within walking distance. And so they're going to be opening up. Right now they're a bed and breakfast, but they are going to have the bunk room open there, and I'll probably be doing a review on them eventually and getting you some more information. And then we've also got Discerning Hiker. He is opening up there in Cosby, which is, Cosby is accessible, or the trail portion there is accessible to Cosby from, well, in the northern section of the Smokies, but also there at Davenport Gap. So they'll be picking up folks there at Davenport Gap. So it's under construction right now. He says that it's going to be open in early March. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, and probably going up there and just chatting with him, interviewing him, checking on his progress, and giving you a heads up on what's going on with him. And then, of course, we've said before, and we've left a link, some information down to about this hostel that's opening up, Stumbles in Texas. They're from the AT Thru Hiker class of 2018, and they're opening up near Front Royal for the 2021 season. So go down there and check them out in the description section down there at the bottom, in the Hikers Helping Hikers section. That's where you can find their information. So a little bit of trail news going on out there. As you know, the AT registration for 2021 is closed currently, and has been closed. Typically by now they have opened up sometime in October, maybe sooner, but that's the best I can go back and track looking at last year's updates that I gave. However, they have came out with an email and Instagram post and everything last night at 6:45 and said that they will be opening up registrations on December 1st. So some great positive news coming out of the ATC for that. Excited for the class of 2021. I'm going to be doing a video specifically on that, hopefully within the next couple days, about some ramifications of what that means, and some information that I have direct from the ATC about what's going on, and then also some information about what's going on up and down the trail in relation to that registration opening up. Some things on the ATC website are not necessarily either up to date, or so it makes them a little inaccurate. So I did want to let you know, if you're out there, you're planning a section hike anytime in the near future, that the Nantahala shelters are open. The ATC website says that all National Forest Service shelters are closed. That is incorrect. Nantahala shelters are open, and of course Nantahala is around the Knock and that area, in Franklin area. And the privies are open there as well. The national forests that are closed are Cherokee, Jefferson, Occoneechee, which is down in Georgia. Cherokee and Jefferson are Tennessee, Virginia, and then also the Pisgah is closed. So most of them are closed right now. I did ask them for some information relative to the December 21st registration. I'll be sharing that with you during that video. Another thing is kind of a little confused on the website. The ATC website says that the privies, the 56 privies in National Park Service lands administered by the ATC, are closed. those would not include the, and that's shelters and privies. Those would not include the shelters and privies on National Park Service land, such as the Great Smoky Mountains National Park or the Shenandoahs National Park, that's administered specifically by those national parks and not the ATC. Those shelters and those privies are open. We are still getting bear reports, and I'm getting those reports not necessarily from folks on the trail, but from agencies in the National Forest Services up and down the trail. So I had a rep from the Pisgah National Forest. She indicated me that there, where the Pisgah National Forest is from Davenport Gap, pretty much all the way up the Tennessee line there at Hampton, that in the past 2 months, they have had some significant bear activity, particularly around the Wrench Mountain Shelter, but in other places of the trail, and so much so that the bears have actually come into shelters and gotten people's packs. So, Shock Theater, if you're listening to this, remember what we had a discussion about this. But the bears have come into shelters, and they've also come into National Park Service campgrounds, and while people have been eating at a picnic table, have actually taken food off of the picnic table right there at them. So bears are out there, and I thought bears hibernated, particularly I thought this type of year, but according to the official there from Pisgah National Forest Service, she indicated that the females may go into hibernation sometime around now, late November, December, or even as late as January, but the males don't necessarily go into hibernation, and they may go out and forage and hunt for food all winter. So just keep that in mind, that if you're not practicing leave no trace, and there's a lot of day hikers that are not, that's causing bears to come into these shelter areas, causing them to get acclimated, and once they get acclimated, and it only takes one bear attack, and then that bear has to be euthanized. So please practice leave no trace. Pack everything out. Leave nothing there that wasn't already there, that didn't grow there, other than the shelters and the fire rings. Don't dump food in the fire rings. I even go so far as when I'm brushing my teeth to make sure that I rinse off the ground really well to try to dilute the smell of toothpaste and kind of rub it in with my foot. So, acclimated bear is a dead bear, so don't be the person that helped acclimate that bear. Don't be the person that killed that bear. Don't forget about the Hiker Family Thanksgiving coming up on Thanksgiving Day in Hampton. I'll leave a link down in the description section there. They would like to have an RSVP by November 19th, if at all possible, and you can go and respond there through this link to that, but not necessarily. If you're out there on the trail as a section hiker, a through hiker, and you're in the Hampton area, then they will come and get you if you'll let them know where you're at. The hostels in those areas, as well over at the Rome Mountain area, they're all are participating in some way, shape, or form, even getting food from that Thanksgiving feast shuttled over to them or catered over to them, or they're bringing people to it. But all people are welcome. So even if you're not on the trail, but you're part of the hiker community, be it through hiker, section hiker, alumni, through hiker alumni, you are welcome at this. And so this is something to give back to the through hikers, but also to the hiker community at large. So I hope you'll come and be a part of that. And that's on Thanksgiving Day. So some cool things I got coming up for me. I got some more videos coming out. I haven't finished my videos on the cakewalk that Come Along and I did from Pennsylvania down into Virginia. So I got a few more shots of that. Got some gear reviews coming up. Got some hiker interviews coming up. So I'm real excited about all the different stuff we got coming out. And of course, we're going to be continuing the updates, not only when hikers get on the trail, but as the class of 2021 is getting prepped to go. Also, I'm going to be getting on the trail one more time before the end of the year. My plan was to finish up to Damascus this year, and pandemic or not, by golly, I'm going to do it. So that will get me all the way up from Springer all the way to Damascus. And of course, I've done a few sections up north, as my last videos that I shared with you showed that. And but that'll be a little over 500 miles, close to 600 miles I've done on the trail. So pretty pumped about that, and just pumped about getting out on the trail in general. Like I indicated, I will be having another video on the ATC registration. There's lots to talk about there, a lot of things to kind of look at. I have gotten some more information from the ATC and other various agencies, so I'll be sharing that with you. And then also I've got a podcast coming up. I believe that's coming out on the 21st of November. And that's a podcast that I did with Jester from Jester Hikes podcast, and that's part of the Hiker Radio Network. So that was really cool. Enjoyed sitting down with Jester for half an hour or so and just talking trail, and that was really neat. And look forward to doing that with her, and maybe I'll have an announcement about some future podcasts coming up. But in any case, look forward to for that going live. So a lot of neat stuff out there on the trail, a lot of neat stuff going on for me, and I hope that communicates over into the hiker community, because that's what I'm here to do, is build the hiker community and support the thru hikers. I hope you'll come along and do that with me. So subscribe to this channel, that'll help you do that. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, love answering all your comments, and as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.